In 29 days, something big is going to happen with the housing market. And I need you guys to focus on this big change that's going to happen with the housing market. My name is Orlando, and let's jump right into it, guys. So as you know, we are really coming up on a seasonal change when it comes to the housing market. Everything that has been going on with the housing market, from these massive price cuts. Hear me out now. I still believe we have a lot further to go. These price cuts are just price cuts that are happening to overpriced homes. So you may have a $100,000 overpriced home, meaning that they overpriced it by $100,000, and they are giving you a 30% price cut, which is $30,000, but the house is still overpriced. So that really doesn't make a difference to you. At least some of you. Some of you I know would go ahead and go after that 30% cut, maybe because you believe it will not get any better. And I understand that, especially if you're in a predicament where you have to buy a home. I get that. No shame in here, no judgment. Do what you have to do for you and your family. But for the rest of us that are waiting for prices to become more affordable, I think this is a chance that we will see things happening. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the end of summer, guys. The end of summer is coming. And we all know that summer is the biggest time when housing transactions happen. So what will happen once summer ends? Well, let's jump into that. It says what the housing market will look like by the end of summer, according to experts. Traditionally, spring is the real estate season, but buyers across the country were waiting for summer to finally see a return to normal inventory levels, normal competition, and most importantly, normal prices. As it turns out, a return to normal is probably pretty far out, but cracks are starting to emerge in the seller's market that has defined the real estate industry throughout the pandemic period. The experts in the trenches are seeing clear indications that relief might be on its way, but will it come in time for the summer? The answer to that is no. The short answer is no, guys. Will we see, right before the end of a summer, just a crash? No. And I just want to clarify this with you guys. A crash will not happen just immediately. Things have to build up to the crash, guys. So let me repeat that. A crash does not just drop immediately. You will not see that. There are things that are currently building up to the crash. Let's try to get into the recession, or get the government, if they ever want to admit that we're in a recession, even though we are. Even though we are in a recession, 2 negative GDP quarters, we've already accomplished that. So in my eyes, we are in a recession. I believe inflation is higher than the CPI number. I don't know what you guys think, but indication shows that the CPI number it's a good user interface, I should say, right? What I'm trying to say is that we are already seeing these cracks. I just did a video on this, my last video, where I talked about all of the builders, all of the sellers that are taking massive price cuts, guys. Now, would we be seeing that? Think about this. Would we be seeing that if everything was going in a seller's market direction? Would we see 50, 30, even 20% price decreases if we were in a seller's market? A market that we were in 6 months ago, guys. Would we be seeing what we're seeing now if we were in that market? No, we wouldn't. So what does that mean? That means that we're getting closer and closer to a buyer's market. And I think fall coming up into the winter time is a great time for you guys to really look. What am I saying? Look. I'm not saying it's guaranteed that you will get a deal. It is guaranteed that you will buy a house for $1. I'm not saying that. Don't mix up what I'm saying. I'm saying this is a good opportunity for you to keep your eye on the market if you're looking for a house. If you're trying to buy investment property, this is a good time to keep an eye on the market, because a lot of people will jump out of the market that are not looking for homes because of kids going back to school. There will be sellers that still need to sell their homes, but the amount of people are being pulled out of the market. But before we get to that, 82% of you guys watching this video have not subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. It really does help the community grow and my channel grow, and we want more people to see this content. Now let's get back to it. Heading back to sanity. If you're a buyer, some promising indicators indicate that the grueling real estate landscape that has frustrated you for more than a year is finally starting to loosen up. The housing market is heading back to sanity in summer of 2022, the end of summer. The relationship between the pandemic and the high prices and low inventory have defined the market ever since. Now, what aspects will not change overnight as inventory is still being adjusted, but there will be improvements. The housing market will not be as expensive as it was last year. Buyers will have some leverage this time around. That's what I'm saying, guys. The leverage that you will have now is that there isn't the demand. The interest rates are higher, so that means that people will be out of this housing market, can't afford the housing market. Their buying power has been decreased because interest rates continue to creep. We're still going to have the Fed increase rates consistently. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I know a lot of you guys watching this video and put it in my comment section. Orlando, there's no way they're going to continue to increase interest rates. There's no way. I've seen it. I've seen multiple comments. I look at them and I just go, why would someone think the Fed won't increase interest rates? Now, I know some of you viewers will not give me just a little bit of credit.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Just a little bit of credit for, leading you in the right direction. Now, obviously, this is still my opinion. Obviously, this is what I thought previously, but let's take a look at what the Fed just said a couple of days ago. Fed sees interest rate hikes continuing until inflation eases substantially. Minutes show what? So you're telling me the Fed is going to continue to raise rates? Wow. Man, only if somebody would have told you that earlier. And listen, guys, to me, it's not rocket science. I've been in this industry for a very, very long time. And here's the thing. If something's working for the Fed, they're not going to stop until they get what they want, which is inflation to go down. I know everybody was clapping because inflation dropped point something percent and it went from 9.1 to 8.5. But that's nothing. The Fed isn't happy with that, guys. They want it to get back down below 3%. That's what they want. And for them to do that, what do they have to do? Increase interest rates. So that was my thought process of definitely keeping on the track of saying they were going to do it. And then it says here, in the next coming 29 days, when we get into the other season, it says if prices don't fall, they will at least rise by less. Now, that is true. We're out of this, guys. We're out of the scenario where every year you will get a 30 to 40%, value increase in your real estate. That's gone. That's gone, right? That is not a scenario that is going to happen. The current supply of homes for sale is still very low. Now that's compared. It is increasing, guys. It still is low, but it is increasing. Even so, the needle is moving in the right direction. While available inventory is still low, historically comparing annual levels over the past 10 years, it is slightly higher than it was at the start of 2021, which is basically saying the inventory is climbing, guys. That is the big point of that. That's the summarized version of that. Why am I saying that you need to look out for when the season changes from fall to winter? Why is that important? It's because of how things work when it comes to the sale of homes in the summertime. Okay, so now let's just go over some numbers here. More homes sell in the summer. That is just a fact. That is just what it is. But why do homes sell and why is there more demand in the summer? Well, let's take a look at these three factors. Summer is the best time for families with kids to move. They typically want to move while the kids are out of school so that they can be established in their new home before the new school year starts. Okay, so that's one. And then it says, from Halloween and New Year's, we're all in holiday mode. With all the extra hustle and bustle of the holiday season, sellers don't want to keep their homes show ready, and buyers don't want to spend time looking at houses, and no one wants to move during the winter holidays. So we wait until spring and summer. Number 3, longer daylight hours means more time for house hunting. Plus, houses typically show better in the good weather. Winter homes can make homes look dreary, but sunny days show houses in the best light. Now, all of that stuff is true, guys, and this is the exact reason why I'm telling you that you need to look out for those times. Because here's the thing, just because the fall and winter time is coming does not mean that someone isn't selling homes. Some people have to move because of work, they're moving because they're family, moving because they're military. There's multiple reasons why someone would move during the winter time, and you need to look out for those deals because once again, remember, you have the leverage. Remember, prices are already being cut. When the fall, winter time comes, they will drop even further because the ball will be in the buyer's court. Some real estate markets are already correcting after millions of people relocated and made other big life changes over the past 2 years. Said a landlord and a real estate investor. Other markets will stay propped up for the summer season and see correction as it cools. Now, that's also a great point. Remember, I say this all the time. Real estate and housing markets are based locally. You cannot look at Miami's market and then say,
well, why isn't Arizona correcting? Or why isn't LA correcting? Or why isn't Austin and Dallas correcting?
Like, you cannot look at it. Your market is locally based. Obviously, we look at national stuff, but it is extremely important that you look at your local market. You can compare all day you want when it comes to a housing market, but no two markets will be the same. That's just not how the housing market and real estate works. You have to look at your situation locally. And in some situations, it's based off of neighborhood. And we go into this winter season. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough in some markets, but I'm telling you, some markets are going to see golden deals. So hopefully you got value out of this content, guys. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn everything about this crazy housing market and also get into your first rental property. Check in the description below. I have useful links to join our membership program and to get a free credit report. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.